Paying $3,150 a month for a one-bedroom apartment is absurd, unless you're living in San Francisco. For computer engineer David Berrios and his wife, it was worth it to live in this 49-square-mile technology paradise by the bay. From their perch near Mount Olympus in the Corona Heights neighborhood, they could stroll down the hill to Haight-Ashbury or walk to a favorite jiu-jitsu studio, or anywhere else in the city, for that matter. That changed a year ago, when San Francisco became the first major city in the country to lock down in the pandemic. A former NASA computer scientist, Berrios, 40, had moved from the East Coast to California because he wanted to be in a challenging environment. The startup kind of challenging, he says, not the kind in which two people are trapped inside a small apartment with nothing to do. They also wanted to start a family. So in November, Berrios and his wife packed their bags and became one of the 80,000 households who left San Francisco in 2020. But they didn't go to Austin, Miami or Wyoming, as some reports might suggest. In fact, they didn't leave the state of California. Instead, they bought and settled into a 5-bedroom house in Yucca Valley, next to Joshua Tree National Park. We thought about moving to other states, Berrios says. But California just checks all the boxes. Obituaries for the state of California are written every time there's a downturn. In the past year, the narrative has been that people are fleeing the Golden State because of the pandemic. The taxes are too high, driving companies and billionaires away. Wildfires make life in California untenable. And the long reign of the Western paradise the Eagles Don Henley called the last resort, is at last coming to an end. But data from the U.S. Postal Service and UC Berkeley's California Policy Lab show that while people during the pandemic have left urban areas, the vast majority of them stayed within the state. Meanwhile, growth in California gross domestic product has outpaced the country's in each of the past 10 years, including during the pandemic. The percentage of Californians moving at all, either within the state or out of it, has been steady since the end of 2014 at about 4% each quarter, according to the California Policy Lab. In the third quarter of 2020, statewide residential mobility was actually 9% lower than it was a year earlier. Over time, the number of people leaving California tends to track the number of people entering the state, but that pattern shifted in the fourth quarter of 2020, when 267,000 people, out of a total population of 39.5 million, left the state and only 128,000 entered. Irrespective of these trends and the COVID-19 pandemic, California continues to lead every other state in employment in tech, biotech, entertainment, manufacturing and more.